Back in the 80s, Marvel had a thing for horror. Specifically, they were into horror franchises enough to want to make comic books featuring those franchises. Two of their interests were Hellraiser and Nightbreed, both created by Clive Barker. Naturally, these two dark worlds collided in a 2-issue miniseries called Hellraiser Nightbreed Jihad. In terms of the story, it's pretty solid, at least for the first issue. The writer, D.G. Chichester, did a great job merging these two creepy universes without losing what made each of them unique. Right from the get-go, we see the order and structure of Hellraiser Cenobites, mixed with the wild, chaotic vibes of Peliquin, one of the Nightbreed, who was a big player in this tale. We get a glimpse into the inner workings of Hell, where they're planning to clean house and rid the Earth of Nightbreed. But guess what? It's not as easy as they thought. The Nightbreed put up a fight, and it becomes clear that there's some puppet master pulling strings behind the scenes. The plot sticks to the vibe established in the original Hellraiser and Nightbreed comics. Plus, you'll spot some familiar faces from both franchises if you're a die-hard fan. But before I begin exploring the comment, I would like to take a little time to explore Nightbreed the movie, so that you have some context. If you're familiar with the movie, you can go ahead and skip to the comic exploration.
Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
Come to Daddy.
Nightbreed, a cinematic odyssey into the hidden realm of monsters. We find Aaron Boone haunted by dreams of a place called Midian, where creatures of the night are embraced rather than shunned. His girlfriend, Lori Winston, urges him to seek help from Dr. Philip Decker, a supposed psychotherapist who, unbeknownst to Boone, is a deranged serial killer. Decker manipulates Boone into believing he's responsible for the murders. With Decker's wicked influence, Boone is coerced into turning himself in, but fate intervenes when he's hit by a truck and ends up in a hospital. At the hospital, Boone overhears the ramblings of Narcissi, a man who seems unhinged but is actually trying to find a way into Midian, a city of the damned. He mistakenly believes Boone is there to test him and reveals the secrets of reaching Midian. This revelation is quite disturbing, as Narcissi proceeds to gruesomely peel the skin from his face to reveal his true form, causing quite a commotion and leading to his capture by the hospital staff. In the midst of this chaos, Boone departs. Following Narcissus' cryptic instructions, Boone embarks on a journey to Midian, a hidden city located beneath a sprawling graveyard in the middle of nowhere. There, he encounters two supernatural beings, Kinski and Peliquin. While Kinski is inclined to bring him to the city, Peliquin adamantly opposes admitting a mere human. To prove his worth, Boone falsely confesses to murder, but Peliquin senses his innocence and attacks him. Boone manages to escape, only to be confronted by Decker and a squad of police officers. Decker tricks the police into thinking Boone is armed, resulting in Boone getting shot. Thanks to Peliquin's bite, he miraculously revives in the morgue. Boone makes his way to Midian, where he reunites with Narcissus and is officially welcomed into their strange society under the leadership of Dirk Lylesburg. During an initiation ceremony, Boone is anointed with the blood of their deity, Baphomet. Concerned about Boone's sudden disappearance, Lori decides to investigate Midian herself. Along the way, she befriends a woman named Cheryl Ann and ventures to the mysterious cemetery. Lori's exploration leads her to a wounded wolf-like creature, and she's soon approached by a woman named Rachel, who can transform into smoke. Rachel pleads for Lori's help to protect the creature from the sunlight. Once in the shadows, the creature morphs into a young girl, revealing Rachel's daughter, Babette. Lori tries to gather information about Boone, but is met with resistance from Lylesburg. Her journey takes a dark turn as she discovers Cheryl Ann's lifeless body and comes face to face with her assailant, Decker. Boone swoops in to save Lori, and a tense confrontation takes place. Decker realizes that Boone's transformation has made him virtually immortal. Decker escapes, but not before leaving Lori deeply shaken. Later, Boone takes Lori with him into the depths of Midian. It's here that Rachel enlightens Lori, explaining that the creatures who populate Midian are actually the remnants of ancient beings, persecuted and hunted to near extinction by humanity, not the monsters they're perceived to be. Lylesburg, the leader of Midian, makes the harsh decision to exile Boone and Lori from their sanctuary. Meanwhile, Decker is busy devising a sinister plan to annihilate the Nightbreed. His first act is butchering the residents of a hotel where Boone and Lori had taken refuge. Stumbling upon the gruesome crime scene, Boone is inexplicably drawn to the spilled blood, unable to resist consuming it. This macabre discovery ultimately leads Boone's arrest by the police. Under Decker's influence, the authorities from a posse led by Police Captain Eggerman, Decker pushes them to wage war against Midian. Alongside them is a drunken priest, Ashbury, who enlists as God's supposed servant in this unholy battle. Amidst the turmoil, Laurie, Rachel, and Narcissa rescue Boone, spiriting him away from the clutches of his captors. The quartet returns to Midian, where Boone manages to convince the Nightbreed to stand and fight. During the fierce battle that ensues, Ashbury has an awakening. He discovers the presence of women and children among the Nightbreed, leading him to question the righteousness of the attack. When he tries to intervene, Captain Eggerman silences him, but Ashbury's quest for divine justice takes an unexpected twist as he stumbles upon the idol of Baphomet, pledging his allegiance to it. The transformation brought about the deity's blood serves as a catalyst and transforms Ashbury. In a desperate bid to turn the tide of battle, Boone seeks the release of the Berserkers, a ferocious and wild breed of Nightbreed who had been imprisoned due to their madness. Before Lylesburg can unlock their cages, he meets his untimely death. Boone takes it upon himself to free the Berserkers, unleashing their fury upon the battlefield. Decker finally confronts Boone and meets his death. As Boone faces Baphomet, the deity informs him that he has inadvertently fulfilled a prophecy, spelling the end of Midian. Boone is entrusted with the duty of finding a new safe haven for the Nightbreed, and is given the name Cabal by Baphomet. Boone departs from Midian with Laurie, leaving the remnants of Nightbreed in a barn. He bids farewell to Narcissi and pledges to find a place where they can live free from persecution. In the ruins of Midian, Ashbury approaches Decker's lifeless body, yearning for the retribution against Baphomet and the Nightbreed. By applying Baphomet's blood to Decker's wound, he miraculously revives the fallen serial killer. Hellraiser Nightbreed Jihad, when Leviathan Cenobites collide with Midian's monsters in a battle for existence. In the first panel itself, we see Pinhead and his band of Cenobites worshipping Leviathan, their deity, the ruler of the labyrinth. Pinhead, as many of you would know, was Leviathan's head priest, and hence he was the one leading the prayer. Now, let me warn you, the comic has been written in a style that some readers may find confusing, or at least that's the case with more than half the panels. So basically, three things are happening simultaneously. First, Peliquin is making love to his human lover, and that's that. Second, we have Pinhead giving some good old anatomy lessons to his fellow Cenobites. And third, a narrator is breaking the fourth wall. The story kicks off with a quote from the Talmud, setting the eerie tone that if our eyes could perceive the countless demons inhabiting the universe, existence itself would be a thing of impossibility. These demons outnumber us, far more numerous than humanity itself. Here you find the Cenobite Order being tutored by Pinhead, their lead. Pinhead imparts the knowledge of scarring and says that these macabre marks serve as both a badge of honor and a sign of worthiness. As Cenobites, these disciples will wear their scars with pride and grant them to others as tokens of their dark virtuosity. The flesh, it seems, requires the exquisite suffering of structure to attain its twisted virtue. So, dismemberment becomes the answer, a sacred ritual of death, renewal, and rebirth. Or perhaps just unfathomable agony. In another dimension, scenes of passion come to a close. Peliquin parts from his human lover as her boyfriend and his gang return, carrying a grudge and arsenal of deadly weapons. What unfolds is a vicious lesson for Peliquin, served with destructive intent of teaching him a painful consequence. And here, in the throes of sexual tension and violent confrontations, one can observe the stark juxtaposition of sex and violence, chaos and order, passion and discipline. These are the words of power, straddling the fine lines between the realms of life and the afterlife, igniting the embers of a dark, holy war. But Peliquin isn't done. He's not one to fall easily. He crashes through the window, transformed into a relentless force. His tentacled dreadlocks writhe, his fangs emerge, and his tongue hungers for the crimson nectar of violence and chaos. Amidst this, what we see is a clash that ensues between order and chaos, heaven and hell. Peliquin doesn't show any mercy to his human girlfriend's boyfriend or the men he brought along with him to kill Peliquin. Blood splatters across the pages like a wall that's painted by a kid. The color red is everywhere and in no order. And as the blood flows, Peliquin gets hungry for more. He slashes his prime adversary's gun-holding hand, but doesn't stop there. He wants to make love to this guy because Peliquin is not so choosy. However, things go against Peliquin for a bit when one of Tony's cronies, who was believed to be dead, suddenly stabs Peliquin. But of course, this moment of bravery and strength cost him dearly, for Peliquin turns the tables on his assailant. Yet Tony isn't spared. He must witness the final moments of this violent dance. Grievously wounded, Peliquin was about to be killed by an injured Tony, but something saved Peliquin from Tony's deadly embrace. It was Peliquin's human lover, who had taken a daring step to protect her beloved. She had come to his aid and killed her boyfriend, and as Peliquin lies wounded, she extends her helping hand, guiding him away from the crimson chaos. But these events didn't just affect the Nightbreed and the humans involved in the massacre. The encounter had left Pinhead, the leader of the Cenobites, perturbed. Something troubles him deeply, something amiss in the air, and his words carry the stench of chaos, of discord, and unease. The eerie atmosphere clings like a shadow, ominously foreshadowing events yet to come. He could sense that a war was on the cards, a war not just for supremacy, but for survival. But soon, we switch scenes to the sanctuary of the Nightbreed. There's something asking Laurie about the Nightbreed, about the secrets that shroud this mystery's breed of monsters. Laurie, still affected and rather haunted by her past experiences, speaks about her twisted initiation, her throat torn by her boyfriend before she was allowed to join their ranks. This bizarre conversation was actually in the backdrop of a child's play of Midian, featuring dolls resembling crypts and tombstones, mirroring the eerie world they inhabit. Cryptic symbols, peculiar encounters, and macabre tales shape this dark narrative, where the line between chaos and order blurs, and the dance of the Nightbreed continues. Here we're greeted by the eerie strumming of a guitar, being played by Laurie. The melody echoes in the shadows, evoking the savage side that lies dormant within the Nightbreed. Tonight, the strains of music awaken the primal beast, resonating with creatures that linger in the darkest corners of every human's nightmares. Laurie's songs speak about the Nightbreed and their origins, the creatures whose existence is whispered in the most dreadful dreams and celebrated in the myths of old. Their eerie melodies call forth the remnants of the living, compelling them to reenact a passionate saga of the undead and the tribes of the moon. It's a story that beckons us to the hidden realm beneath the Acropolis, a sanctuary forged by mankind, envious and fearful of what they would never become. The Nightbreed, the offspring of Baphomet, were cast out from their once safe city of the dead by the same race that condemned them there. It's a song about a story that reveals the rather disturbing transformation of a man, remade into the Nightbreed, known as Aaron Boone, or rather, Cabal. His path now answers a far more ominous call, sealing the final prophecy etched into Nightbreed's Wall of Fate. In this prophetic mural, we glimpse what appears to be Pinhead in the Lament configuration, secrets awaiting another night to emerge into the moonlight. Cabal acknowledges the signs of danger brewing for the Nightbreed, a perilous future that seems almost certain. As we traverse this eerie landscape, we witness children at play and the sweet melodies of guitars filling the air. Cabal gazes skyward through a telescope and sees a celestial spectacle like no other. It's a human skull adorned by nails. It could mean only one thing. Pinhead and his party were on the move. It's a harbinger of the dark times to come, leaving everyone with a sense of urgency. The old witch offers no concrete answers but hints at his name, Ra's al Ghul, which is related to a sinister star known as the Head of the Demon. As the story unfolds, we shift from the realm of the Nightbreed to the intricate depths of the labyrinth, where secrets and dark truths intertwine like a creeper climbing up a tree and becoming one with it. Deep within the twisted labyrinth of the human soul, a man's very flesh is transformed, his purpose reborn into something pure. The gruesome transformation is further pronounced as he surrenders his own mortal coil to serve a purpose beyond human comprehension. In the shadowy underbelly of human civilization, a librarian retrieves infernal tomes from macabre shelves of flesh and bone, each volume holding the key to a truth far darker than the ordinary. From the depths of malevolence emerges the path to true order as the faithful embrace the call of the abhorrent. And so it is that Pinhead, the master of the Cenobite Order, beckons the faithful to their unholy congregation at the Church of Hell. Their chants echo with an eerie cadence, praying for eternal damnation. It's a place where the faithful gather to worship, to heed the command of the Leviathan, the lord of their dark devotion. As the Cenobites chant, they address the issue of the Nightbreed, their reappearance foreboding. Their grotesque nature once again stirs fear and wonder among mortals, threatening the fragile balance of the existence of Cenobites and their sway over the mortals. In the midst of the congregation, a devoted Cenobite named Alistair dares to speak of a solution. His words, laced with certainty and conviction, propose a final solution to cleanse their world of the chaotic Nightbreed forever. But Pinhead says that Alistair has spoken out of order and needs to be schooled, punished, and corrected. Amidst the tension, Leviathan speaks through one of his faithful and delivers a verdict that demands the Nightbreed be eradicated. It is a decree that sounds the trumpet of a holy crusade, a dark war against the Nightbreed. Even as Pinhead pleads for reconsideration, the divine orders are set in motion. Leviathan commands Alistair to accompany the Cenobites on their mission to wipe clean the chaotic stain that the Nightbreeds represent. It's a dark and chilling command that sends shivers through the very heart of this nightmarish congregation. No matter how strong the Cenobites may think they are, fighting another force of evil is something they have not done previously. But more importantly, Alistair had other sinister motives. Yes, motives that are sinister, even for a Cenobite. It seems that each Cenobite harbors their own hidden agenda. Pinhead bristles at Alistair, and this fiery exchange reveals the undercurrent of discord within their ranks. Alistair, voicing his dissent, attempts to move away from Pinhead's control. His aims become clearer as he hints at an alternative purpose beyond the lament configuration, the puzzle box that binds their fate. It seems that Alistair wants to escape the labyrinth for good. Elsewhere, Peliquin and his human lover Pat find themselves on the run. Pursued by humans seeking vengeance, a collision becomes inevitable. But it's not Tony's men that's hunting them down. It was actually Cabal. Amid the confrontation, Cabal is trying to make Pat understand the gravity of the situation as she was pointing a gun at him. Cabal explains that he needs Peliquin and that their mission is not about personal matters. It's a matter of grave importance regarding the Nightbreed and their very survival. Cabal, inspired by the celestial sign, rallies the Nightbreed together for their most important mission, one that may finally offer them an exit from the clutches of Cenobites and Leviathan. The Nightbreed have gathered as a united force, striving to interpret the impending agony foretold in the prophecy of the damned. Within their ranks, there is talk of the Wilding, a fearsome warrior class, whose sole purpose is to eradicate their adversaries, and they were also the creators of the Berserkers, mindless beasts who were too powerful even for the strongest Nightbreeds. They had been created by the Wildings on the orders of the Kaiser, but the Berserkers, relentless in their brutality, showed no mercy, cutting a swath of destruction across battlefields, indiscriminately mowing down both enemies and the Germans. These savage creations were at the beck and call of the Kaiser, but he eventually ordered the withdrawal from service. Subsequently, they found refuge in Midian, and when that sanctuary met its untimely demise, the Berserkers returned as prodigal sons to their creator. However, the Berserkers met their end at the hands of the Cenobites in a secluded barn. The Berserkers, once formidable and relentless, are now in chains, their skin flayed from their bodies, and their wounds oozing blood. In the midst of this horrific display lies the lament configuration. Meanwhile, down in the depths of hell, Alistair and Pinhead are locking verbal horns. It's a bit of a standoff, you could say. Pinhead challenges Alistair, questioning who he aims to impress with his shenanigans. Alistair fires back, sarcastically inquiring if he's trying to earn points with Totek. They delve into their differences. Pinhead speaks of tradition and the need for infernal balance. He's clearly unimpressed with Alistair's recent actions, accusing him of disregarding the rules of the configuration in his fervor to pursue the Nightbreed. Alistair is unapologetic, highlighting that he's throwing open the portal between worlds. Consequences be damned. He makes it clear that his war serves as his own agenda, regardless of what the Hell Doctrine may dictate. But Pinhead, a seasoned Cenobite, reminds Alistair that his authority derives from Leviathan itself, and that he's been given the powers to serve that authority. Tensions are running high, and Alistair strikes back, acknowledging his connection to Leviathan, and emphasizing that Pinhead should remember that. However, Alistair's Cenobite comrades are a bit anxious. They realize that Pinhead still wields some considerable influence with Leviathan, and it might be wise to tread carefully. The Nightbreed diligently worked on deciphering a prophecy. They've been handed a portion of a mural, and it appears to hold a piece of the prophetic puzzle. There's a sense of urgency in their huddle as they piece together the meaning. As they examine the mural fragment, they realize it could be a crucial part of their quest. One of them spots a design resembling a box. It's intriguing as this symbol seems to connect with the very beginning of their enigmatic mural. There's a palpable sense of revelation, and they wonder if something from the past has resurfaced to challenge them and Cabal. He can be seen holding the Lament configuration, a mysterious puzzle box. He passes it to another Nightbreed and implies that they've been avoiding some crucial elements, particularly out of fear. Peliquin, ever the warrior, doesn't mince words. He warns them about the box, emphasizing they need to be cautious and suggesting that a straightforward solution might be simple to remove its source. However, Cabal hints that the puzzle box isn't the sole form of this transformative device. There are more out there, but their locations remain a mystery. Things take a dramatic turn as Cabal, in a fit of desperation, smashes the box into oblivion. The Nightbreed feel the urgency, and Patty's torment is visceral, as if her insides are ablaze. The Cenobites have forcefully breached a portal, a gateway, and entered the world. They've arrived, and their presence is undeniable. Alistair leads the attack. He swiftly strikes down Cabal with a decisive blow from his axe. Cabal lies on the ground, his life rapidly ebbing away. Issue 2. The Cenobites launch into a fervent and merciless assault on the Nightbreed. Their actions are brutal, slashing and slaying with abandon. They hang some of the Nightbreed from the ceiling like trophies. The atmosphere is charged with religious fervor as they prepare to wage a holy war for the fate of immortal souls. In the midst of this chaotic conflict, the Nightbreed alchemist on the floor realizes the Lament configuration might be their salvation. There is a glimmer of hope, a belief that the fragments of this transmutator hold the key to their deliverance. Amid the pandemonium, Alistair notices what the alchemist is trying to do. The Cenobites are still relentless in their pursuit, closing in on the Nightbreed. The Nightbreed have no choice but to flee, abandoning their Lament configuration. Chatterer, one of the Cenobites, tries to join the fight, but Pinhead intervenes, halting the attack. Pinhead cautions against further acts of suffering, citing the violation of Leviathan's teachings. He emphasizes the need to avoid adding to the blasphemy. The situation is tense, and the fate of the Nightbreed hangs in the balance as the conflict between the Cenobites and the Nightbreed intensifies. Amidst the clash between the Cenobites and the Nightbreed, Pinhead, the most intelligent of the Cenobites, sees the truth through Alistair's actions. Alistair, with an air of hubris, envisions a symphony of impeding redemption and believes that the Nightbreed will soon plead to him as their god. He sees himself as a deity, and those who hesitate to join his congregation will eventually realize there's no escape from the Church of Alistair. In this tense moment, Pinhead steps forward. He questions Alistair's role and taunts him as a leader of demonic vessels, an inventor of wicked arts, and accuses him of serving false gods with arrogance and contempt. Pinhead reminds Alistair of the orders given to him by Leviathan, charging him with upholding the honor of order and leading a jihad against the Nightbreed. Alistair attempts to justify his actions, claiming that divine physical mutilation widens the divide between chosen and the uninitiated. His words are marked by impurities and the stench of chaos, according to Pinhead. Amidst this confrontation, Alistair moves to strike down Pinhead with his raised axe, but Pinhead's favored first lieutenant, Chatterer, intervenes, preventing the fatal blow. Chatterer seizes the axe, choosing his side, and the scene takes a violent turn. Despite the chaos, the Cenobite remain resolute, seeking to complete their mission in their own grim and relentless fashion. Amidst the chaos, a Nightbreed seizes the opportunity and engulfs one of the Cenobites into its mass, crushing and destroying it. Simultaneously, the Nightbreed successfully completes the Lament configuration, and they are ready to send the Cenobites back to hell. Alistair, aware of their intention, cries out that solving one puzzle may banish them temporarily, but another waits to bring them back. He taunts the Nightbreed about their challenging allegiances. From Baphomet to himself, Chatterer and Pinhead find themselves stranded, left behind enemy lines while Nightbreed, with blades at Chatterer's throat, ponder their next move. The Nightbreed question how to deal with the Cenobites, and some suggest a lynch mob, but another suggests a more pragmatic approach, labeling them as prisoners of war. The tables have turned as the Nightbreed now have the upper hand and face decisions on how to handle their Cenobite captives. In the labyrinth, the Cenobite gaze upon Leviathan, the almighty lord of this infernal realm. Yet not all appreciate this eerie majesty. Atkins, a member of this hellish ensemble, is arming Alistair's troop, preparing for impending war. Meanwhile, the Nightbreed convene to discuss the fate of Pinhead and Chatterer. The notion of execution is entertained, but Pinhead remains defiant, and the Nightbreed settle for interrogation. But Pinhead wouldn't just give up information because you asked him sweetly. So a Nightbreed introduces Pinhead to the idea of maggots, proclaiming that the worms are no ordinary worms, but a peculiar breed akin to living drugs, capable of injecting nightmarish hallucinations into one's mind. The Nightbreed resort to an unconventional form of interrogation, using the mysterious creatures that crawl into Pinhead's head. The unsettling process involves the exchange of memories and the revelation of forgotten pasts. Memories of ancient times, battles, the Knights Templar, and the very essence of hell, represented by Leviathan. Pinhead remains captive, while Nightbreed themselves are embroiled in discussions about their next moves. A plan emerges to awaken Baphomet, the guardian of their sanctuary. However, not all agree with this course of action. Khadijah, a Nightbreed member, holds the key to the sanctuary and can open the door to it. Furthermore, the Cenobites are deemed valuable allies in this endeavor. Pinhead points out the appearance at the beginning of the Wall of Prophecy, as Cabal's image nears its end. This harmonious convergence of events may provide them with unique power, granting Pinhead access where the presence of other Cenobites might be unwelcome. As they transition to a new location, they encounter a Knight Templar who threatens Pinhead with a sword. This confrontation hints at a deeper connection to their past, but we soon move past it. Pinhead, Peliquin, and the body of Cabal find themselves on a quest to gather the scattered pieces of Baphomet. Their mission is critical, and failure is not an option. Their aim? To visit Baphomet and present the deity with a stark reminder of the dire situation at hand. It's time for Baphomet to act, to rise from his slumber and stir some action. This time, they want Baphomet to shift from his passive stance and take action on their behalf. It's not just about the Nightbreed asking for help. They want to shake things up, get Baphomet riled up, and prompt him to do something for a change. However, all gods demand a price for their intervention. Even the sacrifice of a Messiah's corpse may not suffice. The Nightbreed brace themselves for what lies ahead, knowing that the sacrifices are inevitable, and the air will soon be filled with haunting echoes of their screams. As Pinhead proceeds into Baphomet's presence, the complex intricacies of his divine encounter become evident. A mental struggle brews within him as he navigates the fine line between logic and divine revelation. In the shadows of a grim and methodical scheme, a trio of races converges with a single womb. The puzzle of Alistair's grand plan becomes clear as Pinhead finally grasps the true scope of Alistair's relentless mission. As Pinhead lays Cabal beside Baphomet, it's evident that the trust is a fickle concept in these dark realms. The Nightbreed, it seems, had expected to shackle Pinhead again, but this time he's having none of it. He's unfazed by their threats, as threatening as a porcupine, and remains eerily calm in the face of their fury. Pinhead begins to reveal the intricacies of Alistair's grand design. Obsession, he explains, is the key to breaching the boundaries between the worlds, embodied in the form of puzzles or configurations. Solving these cryptic enigmas grants passage into the realm of the living, a power bestowed upon them by their god, Leviathan. However, Peliquin reveals the subterfuge. Alistair, it appears, has another agenda for the embryonic living configuration growing within the human female. Their elaborate plot goes deeper than just causing chaos among the Nightbreed. Peliquin and Pinhead both have their own clandestine plans in motion, even as Alistair's scheme takes shape. Pinhead, Peliquin, and the Templar each have their own intricate schemes in motion. The verbal sparring between them continues, with threats and warnings filling the air. Alistair, once Hell's favorite son, now finds his piercings bent and his power diminished. He's deemed a disfavored, soulless entity embarking on a final desperate crusade. His ambition to ascend to godhood meets scorn from Pinhead, who dismisses deities as unimpressive. As the tension escalates, Pinhead, the Templar Knight, and Peliquin become a force to reckon with, poisoned to wage an unholy war against the Cenobites. Alistair's power seems to wane as his Cenobite orders begins to dissipate, a sight he dreads. The climax is much darker as Peliquin, armed with the Templar Knight's sword, kills his lover to protect the Nightbreed. In this chilling climax, Pinhead confronts Alistair and Chalkis, condemning their sacrilegious acts against the Order, which have stripped them from their immortal status. This battle rages on as Peliquin seeks vengeance, tearing them apart and savoring their human flesh. With this battle's aftermath, Pinhead begins to reattach his piercings and adornments to his skull. This process, though painful, is an integral part of his faith and of who he is. Where the ornamentation is a testament to his beliefs, an expression of their devotion. As the dust settles, Pinhead delivers a message, saying that the unity between Nightbreed and Cenobites, born out of necessity to combat a common threat, is but a temporary accord. They will return regardless of the passage of time. So, that was all from our end. I understand that the comic may have felt a bit tricky, but that's because of the way the comic was written. I wish they did a better job at bringing more semblance and structure. Nevertheless, as always, I am open to listening to any and all suggestions.
And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.